I am back watching some more One Piece, so the last thing I saw was Shanks showed up, which I guess things weren't crazy enough already. It's like, hey, here's Shanks, which makes me wonder, like, is anyone else gonna show up? Should be interesting. Let's begin. Man, like, they made Shanks look, I don't know, at least 50% cooler than he used to. Yeah. Has Garp ever met Shanks in person? I guess. Maybe not. Who even knows? Man, Akainu though. I will say, and I was saying this before, I do respect one thing about Akainu. The fact is, he doesn't back down. Yeah, and Shanks is very concerned about Blackbeard. He was concerned before, now he's got to be terrified. I say terrified, like he's not going to back down or anything like that, but like, he was a problem before, and now he's got Whitebeard's devil fruit. What is he doing? Looking at Shanks' ship? Kind of an interesting look. That's a, yeah. Yeah, I was shocked by that too, like the time. And Buggy. It's a good throw. He threw that like a frisbee. Does he actually have a map, or is this a ploy? If he doesn't show you the map, he probably doesn't even have it. I feel like he played you. I feel like that's more of an end of series thing. Like he said, like, you know, once he becomes like a, what, a great pirate or something like that? Yeah, this was such a great moment. It's only an arm. It's no big deal. Yeah, I presume Shanks still doesn't have a devil fruit. I mean, it's always possible he got one in between there, but I doubt it. Yeah, not yet though. Yeah, it's true. You gotta go underneath. That's why, like, Law showing up was so perfect. Buggy and Luffy's relationship is kind of funny to me. Where it's like, they are vaguely friends, but not entirely. Like, they are kind of friends. Buggy, on the other hand, is a serious rival. Because again, with power, it doesn't matter what you're actually able to do. All that matters is what people believe you're able to do. Once you become a great pirate. And even like the idea of great pirate, what is that? It's even like Usopp, brave warrior of the sea. Like, what does that mean? Well, it's individualized, I guess. Like, once you feel you've accomplished it, then I guess you have accomplished it. Like, you set your own limits. And I think in Luffy's mind, that's probably more so like, once I become king. Or at the very least, once I become like so close. I see you now. Okay, look at that. And Jinbei. Jinbei is, like, such a real one. I was not expecting that. He even had that moment, like, they gave us that extra flashback scene with Jinbei in Impel Down with Ace, where Ace was like, hey, if I die, can you look after my brother? And he's like, I'm not as good-hearted as you think. I only look after people that I, like, value, that I respect. And clearly Luffy earned his respect. Okay, you see that look there is kind of concerning. You look a little sick. I know Law is like a fan favorite. Just wondering, okay, but like, submerge, you gotta submerge. You can't get stuck in the ice. I guess no one wanted to stop that? No? It is really fortunate Law came. Like, the fact is, I don't think they'd be able to escape the admirals if you can't go way below the sea. Under the sea. Let's go fast. Aokiji's kind of funny. I can't prove this, but I'm sure in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking like, I don't have to reach them. But even so, my attack will stop other admirals from potentially attacking, because then they have to go through like the ice I created. Maybe I'm giving Aokiji too much credit. Kizaru. Can they reach? You see what I mean though? Like, it had to go through Aokiji's ice. Like, Aokiji, to an extent, was like, kind of trying to help them? Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, it's hard enough to do an operation. Let alone in a submarine, in a shaking ship like this. Okay, he gave up. Am I wrong? Like, did that ice Aokiji made not buy, like, a little bit of, help for them? Like, I think that Akainu had the right idea. Like, you cannot let Luffy leave. Now you're really screwed up. I like the look of Akainu there. You count them lucky. Is it lucky? Or is it destiny? Like, Boa Hancock doesn't know about, like, law and all sorts of stuff. Shanks really does look significantly cooler than he looked at the start of the story. Like, the changes are subtle, but they're there. Like, that man looks kind of scary. Like, the scar and everything about him is pretty cool. At least a couple of the Roger pirates showed up. And this is gonna help Buggy too. Like, look at the way he's speaking to Emperor of the Sea Shanks. Like, everyone's gonna look on like, oh, okay. Like, he looks at him like an equal, if not even below him. I love when he told Luffy this story about, like, how Shanks ruined my life, and he's like, oh, Shanks is a great guy. He saved you. The Buggy dialogue is pretty funny. Yeah, they're gonna be, like, so stunned, like, he's conversing with Shanks, like old friends or something. Even against, okay, yeah, kind of what I expected. What the flip? That was unnecessary. Is that like, okay. Yeah, everyone is mostly just standing around. That's the funny thing. Is he going to be reluctant to kind of like listen to him? I think he knows he's right. He's leaving. I agreed to fight Whitebeard. You didn't have to go that hard against my boy Luffy. Like, what were we doing there? Either way, he's got cool eyes. I know that they're red in the manga, which, like, a couple of people mentioned that. How the flip did they get back there? But anyway, it worked out. Got the monkey, too. He doesn't have any women on his crew, though. But it's like, Blackbeard's got a woman. More handsome than ever, okay. He's not wrong, though. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Oh, that's gotta sting. Because he gave him those scars. You know how I got these scars? And Shanks made it clear, like, he didn't sneak attack me. He's calculating. He's not gonna fight. He's like, nah. He's in no position to fight. It's actually kind of bogus you survived. He grabbed him by the head. Who would be the strongest person in Blackbeard's crew right now? I don't know why. I have a feeling it might be Shiryu. Because Shiryu, they said, was like as strong as Magellan, and I kind of put Magellan like maybe a little bit weaker than an admiral. And he died standing up. What a legend. For now. Interesting. I mean, will that go over well, telling the Navy and everyone here to do that? It does feel like, okay, this might be the end. There's a couple of shreds of hope, mostly just how Luffy inspired so many people. Like, everyone's gonna be like, okay, he might have what it takes. Even what Whitebeard said to Luffy. He's like, show me what the future will look like. Yeah, everyone's so battered and bruised. And then you just got this guy. Like, what the flip are you even doing? Honestly, the more and more I think about what Kobe did, like, you stood in front of Akainu. Like, that takes a lot of balls. I would not have done that. Unless it was by accident. And Crocodile. Crocodile might be one of the most interesting developments. What are you doing up there? I have a feeling Akainu would be the one who's like, no, screw that. Oh, and everyone's just watching, too. Maybe, they gotta agree. Like, Shanks said something, but you gotta agree to it. You gotta agree to a ceasefire. It would be horrible if they, like, if the Navy desecrated the corpses and paraded them around. Like, you know, chopped the heads off and stuff and stuck them on pikes. Hey, buddy, you're a vice admiral, okay? We're talking to the important people. How about we actually talk to the fleet admiral? Okay, somebody with actual power agreed. I guess he's like, well, we won, and this is an unforeseen. The flip is that, man? Why? Because, anyway. Again, the wording with One Piece is always, like, interesting. I know, I usually, like, take... The war is what, over? Yeah. I usually, take the anime's wording with, like, a grain of salt. until I look at the mangas. Like, the fact is, he was like, I'm only gonna do it because it's you, Shanks. Okay, so Kobe had a massive effect. Yeah. Honestly, like, Whitebeard's just such a legend. It's a shame that he couldn't save Ace, but either way, he got to go out like a boss. I just, like, Ace, you could have kept running. Either way, though, this is fascinating. Even with Kobe, like, that dynamic, to be continued. Because I talked about how Luffy kind of impacted or set his mark on what will be the next generation. Like, this is the end of the old era. Doflamingo and all sorts of powerful people have hinted at, like, the new era coming. Which, I have a feeling will be far more chaotic, far, like, worse. Like, this here, as I was saying at Marineford, felt like a preview, a sampling of what was going to come. Like, the final conflict and things like that. Because even with, like, the story so far, I see Oda loves to repeat certain themes throughout the story and then one-up them, improve upon them. Like, Arlong Park, for example, with all the stuff, Nami runs away, this and that, and then, you know, they go and get her back. You know, you have that kind of repeated to a certain extent, but even improved upon with greater stakes with Enies Lobby and Water 7. Yeah, even with Kobe, though, like, Luffy left his mark. I feel like Kobe also did as well. Shanks is definitely one of the more mysterious characters. I'm still a little shocked he got here in time. I wonder if there's more to that. He stopped the war or convinced them to have a ceasefire. I have a feeling if Blackbeard usually knows when to pick and choose his fights. If he were to fight Shanks and his crew right then and there, he was probably going to lose. But also, like, even with one of Blackbeard's, like, greatest abilities, the ability to take away your devil fruit, as far as I know, well, Shanks doesn't have a devil fruit, and as far as I know, none of the other red-haired pirates have. It's possible that they do, but that almost seems to be a little bit of a theme. Like, yeah, they don't. Should be interesting. I guess on to the next. Okay. Interesting. I mean, like, they kind of did. That's the thing about wars. There are no winners. There's only, like, who loses less. It's definitely not a complete victory, though, because, again, like, walking away from this fight, your adversaries will probably only be far greater and worse going forward, because, yeah, Whitebeard's such a legend, you know, one of the strongest people in history. But at the very least, he seemed to be mostly like a pretty good person. Blackbeard and whatever other forces will rise up, you cannot say the same. Like, Doflamingo was obviously fascinated by this. He's obviously like a bad person that will eventually rise. Blackbeard, maybe the other emperors. The war is over, but, like, you might wish after this that Whitebeard wasn't gone. I get it, though. Like, they're celebrating, but Whitebeard definitely kept a lot of powerful and dangerous pirates down. 7 ships. Okay, these are the other rookies. Okay. Look at Kid. I feel like I've kind of come around on Kid. The only reason I hated on Kid was because he had a higher bounty than Luffy. This is the new era. The rookies will lead it in with the others. Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, what's going to happen to Fishman Island? Because Jinbei was saying Whitebeard kept Fishman Island safe. Yeah, Law showing up was something I definitely wasn't expecting. It's a good point. Like, he doesn't do stuff out of the kindness of his heart. He must think he can get something out of it. What the flip is that? Was this cat always around? Uh-huh. Yeah, and Hawkins had the, like, the death card. I guess that meant Whitebeard and Ace. They're really sailing dangerously close to Marine headquarters. So, like, all of them came out here. So, like, who's gonna fill the other spot? Or is it just gonna be, like, Marco? Is it gonna be, Blackbeard? Is it gonna be, like, a competition for who gets it? Yeah, Kid is definitely unhinged. People were saying, and even in the show, they said, like, okay, yeah, the reason he has such a high bounty is because he just kills a bunch of innocent people. Again, I just know, like, they're celebrating now, but, like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, okay, yeah, the sea will definitely not be at peace. It will only get worse, because Whitebeard was at least a stabilizing force on the sea. Now you've just got chaos. Like, I get it. I hate to be raining on their parade, but actually I don't even hate it that much. Again, it's going to create a power vacuum, and the people that will rise will be even more dangerous because, at least with Whitebeard, you knew what you were getting. What god are you praying to, though? That's my question. I need to learn more about the mythology, well, the religions in the One Piece world, because it really fleshes out the world building. Failed to notice something. What was it? Already the chaos has started. That's a good point, is that, like, that's what kicked off the Great Pirate Era. That will reignite so many people to be like, oh, okay, we'll go out again. That is an interesting looking island. Food Volton Island. Now, obviously it's not peace, it's only gonna get worse. Significantly worse. It's Whitebeard's territory. Immediately people are like, okay, well, we're going in. Jinbei was very positive about Whitebeard, despite technically, like, you know, Fishman Island technically being occupied by Whitebeard, if you want to call it occupied, because he was like, at least they kept it safe. Just the name of Whitebeard. Look at him and his goat. I don't know why. I don't really know what to think about Sengoku. He's a very complex character. Okay, so we're gonna get into what Blackbeard did, because he recruited a bunch of people. What the flip happened, though? Okay, so we're gonna see what happened. Okay, yeah, it's a flashback. What, they fight each other to the death? You're kind of sick. I mean, at the very least, though, nobody's really gonna cry over, like, these guys dying, because they're horrible people. Oh, okay. So not all of them died. Others escaped as well. How bad is it? Oh my gosh. That's a lot of people. How are all these people escaping, though? Like, they're taking, what, ships? Like, how? Yeah, it's funny that, like, the celebrations lasted 5 minutes, if that. Because they don't want it to get out. You see, that means Luffy's not going to get credit for any of this either, is he? A secret too. Yeah, you're right. Screw them, man. Yeah, they call this a victory. I mean, I guess technically they accomplished their goal, defeat Whitebeard and execute Ace. Is this a victory? Not even close. I mean, if anything, it's a victory for Shanks. Like, Shanks came out of this looking probably better than everyone. Because he just showed up and was like, yeah, I'm ending this war, and it ended. What the flip? Moria. What the flip is Doflamingo up to? Why do you always look so unhinged? Like, the tongue sticking out is just insane. And he has the pacifista, so, like, this is what the world government wants. Sengoku? Yeah. How many people are above Sengoku? I mean, he's the fleet admiral. Celestial dragons, maybe, that's it. Or like the, Elder Stars. Yeah, that does not look fun. But I don't know, they're kind of like really humanizing. I say humanizing with a polar bear, but you know what I mean? Like, they're kind of humanizing some of Law's crew and characters. Like, they don't seem like bad people. Coming back up to the surface. And Boa Hancock was like trying to follow them. She's already here. What the flip? How? Where is she? How did they, like, keep up with them, though? They're in a submarine. How do you even, like, track them? Oh, okay. So she knows what's up. Okay, yeah. You fuzzy beast. Did the surgery go well? I mean, I have to assume so. He'll survive, but will he ever be the same? That's the question. You were also on the ship? They're gonna see Sanji? I just love like the look of bewilderment on their faces, like, well, who are they? It's true. That was the last thing he saw before he passed out. Is nobody else like confused why Boa Hancock is acting this way? The friend is very loose. What kind of answer is that? Like, I don't think Law is a bad guy. He got a massive hole through him. But anyway, you fuzzy beast. I'm sorry, it's just funny how she keeps calling him that. Okay, but they won't look for him on her island. That actually makes sense. And I know, like I was saying, I know the Luffy connection to Sun Wukong isn't perfect. Like, there's vague inspirations. Either way, like, Boa Hancock's Amazon Lily is basically like ancient China. Which, like, if he has any connection to Sun Wukong, it would make sense that he would have a connection to Amazon Lily, like, you know, China. Luffy, he will obviously make it through this. I think one of the biggest shames is just he put himself through so much. And he doesn't really, like... He didn't, like, save his brother. It would have felt a little different if he did. But at the same time, he did get so much out of this experience that, like, will just be invaluable to him. Aside from, like, just announcing himself to the world, like, he really put on a show. He obviously had all these crazy feats and things like that, you know, impel down and stuff like that. It's actually crazy looking back on it that Magellan was arguably the one that did, you know, he did the most damage to Luffy, like, and, you know, he actually got Blackbeard as well. Like, Magellan was closer to killing Luffy and Blackbeard and his entire crew than, like, anyone at Marineford for the most part. I mean, Akainu, I guess, was pretty close to killing Luffy, so there's that. But, like, he didn't really get, like, the cleanest attack on Luffy. He did get one, which, you know, as I was saying, that's probably where, you know, that's where he got the scar from. So every time, I guess, he looks at that scar, which I've seen in images, that X on his chest, it'll be a reminder of, like, you know, the time he lost his brother, like, right in front of him. Yeah. So, okay, he's going back to Boa Hancock's place. That actually makes a lot of sense. As I was saying, I do feel like there is a lot of connection. Like, a lot of just symbolism behind, like, Amazon Lily being kind of like the representation of ancient China. Maybe I'm reading too much into this, but, like, it is almost... It makes sense that Luffy would be connected to a place like that. Even with, like, Boa Hancock, I always say, like, she's probably based on Qing Shi, the Chinese pirate. Like, she was basically, like, the pirate queen, which, like, would be kind of fitting. I don't know if he will ever marry her. In her mind, they're probably already married, but maybe not. Like, some of the Boa Hancock scenes are funny, but you could tell, you know, it is funny. Just the way she was acting there is very different. Like, obviously, she acted differently with Luffy, but I don't know, she was even, like, far more considerate to everyone else around, even the fuzzy bear, which was kind of funny that she was calling him. I don't really know what Law's intentions were. I guess I will find out more in the future. Like, why did he decide, okay, I'm going to head over? But either way, yeah, I think the major thing I got out of this episode, aside from the fact that, well, even Jinbei, man, Jinbei is just such a legend. Like, he risked his life to save Luffy like crazy. And again, he made it clear to Ace, like, I'm not, like, as kind as you think I am. I only will, like, follow people and, like, really care about them if I respect them immensely. And he clearly does with Luffy. And I feel like all the respect he had for Whitebeard and Ace kind of gets passed on to Luffy, if not even more. And even though, like, he said, like, he was obviously going through all the emotions, he mostly felt bad because he was like, I know whatever Luffy's going to go through will be significantly worse once he wakes up. So Jinbei really is, like, one of the MVPs of the whole Marineford and Impel Down arcs. Yeah. But, yeah, should be interesting. I guess on to the next. The West Blue. Interesting. Some pirate. I didn't recognize the Jolly Roger. It's actually crazy, because everyone was celebrating, and it's like, Whitebeard being gone isn't something you should be celebrating. Afraid of us? No. They're only emboldened now, because now they don't have to worry about Whitebeard. Also, like what Whitebeard said. Food Volton. The Whitebeard pirates will have to regroup without Whitebeard. They're still really strong. Like, it's not entirely meaningless. You still got Marco and all the strong commanders. But obviously, like, they've taken a massive blow. Yeah, you know what this does make me think, though? Or not even make me think, because I already thought this. Pirates really are bad. Like, most of them really are bad. It's just Luffy and a few of them aren't so bad. Brown beard? Okay. We gotta stop with, like, all the different beards. Brown beard, what's it gonna be like? Red beard, purple beard, and stuff like that? Yeah. I understand why people were celebrating, like, the defeat of Whitebeard, the great pirate, like this great evil, but again, Whitebeard did seem like one of the at least nicer, or maybe not nicer, but better people as far as, like, pirates go. Okay, yeah, so he's got to recover a little bit. And the next place that they wanted to go was Fishman Island. Yeah, it's funny, like, just all the bonds that were formed because of this adventure. I really do love, like, Ivankov and Jinbei were almost like babysitting Luffy to a certain extent, but, like, those two, like, Luffy would be dead 10 times over without them. So Ivankov is probably going back to see Sanji now. Yeah, he can't. Going to see Sanji. Law didn't leave yet, obviously, because he's still tending to Luffy, so... Law's allowed to go in? I mean, I guess. Yeah, no, he is. Here's the thing, though. Luffy gave them all, like, such strange ideas of what a man is like. Okay, what the flip? We are going rogue. I was about to call her Nico Robin, because, you know, the voice, but still. And Robin went with the revolution. Okay, what the flip? Yeah, inside. I mean, look at Law, though. Like, that was such a great Law moment. Like, did none of them think, like, okay, maybe Boa Hancock let them? To the Kuja Castle. What is it? It's fine if it's just Luffy. But can Luffy go? No, I don't think Luffy can go, because they're tending to him. Okay, but, like, we can't allow... Here's the thing, though. Is I get it, you have traditions and stuff like that, but Boa Hancock is the Empress of Amazon Lily. Like, it's funny someone's like, you can't do this. It's like, I'm the leader here. No, so Luffy's got to stay on the ship for now. Let's settle down a little bit, Hancock. Like, you make the rules, don't you? You're the Empress here. What the flip, man? But here's the thing. First, when he wakes up, he's gotta, like... I guess he's gotta go through all the stages of grief. 2 weeks have passed. Okay. It's a lot of food, okay. I can't help but think of Nico Robin every time I listen to her. This is the voice actress. Look at Law. No. I have a feeling you'll know when Luffy's awake. He'll start making a lot of noise. Look at Law. I don't know why some of the faces Law makes are funny. He wasn't even like making a funny face. It was just like the way he looks at people and stuff like that. Is she not eating? I take it he's waking up. Or is he having a nightmare? Okay, he's awake. But yeah, like I said, you'll know when he's awake. You have Law? Like, we need someone in here that can settle him down. Jinbei. Okay, yeah, Jinbei, get on there. What the flip? Okay, he's just destroying that man's ship. You can, like, what the flip? You can't, like, re-injure yourself. He does need to see some friendly faces. Okay, Jinbei, this is where Jinbei will be invaluable. Every time I think back to it, I'm like, Ace, like, why? You could have just kept running. Yeah, it definitely can't be good for him. Yeah, his wounds open up, he will die, so you gotta settle him down. So he's going through, I guess, all the stages of grief, like denial and things like that. Yeah, so I guess right now he's kind of like going through denial. He's looking for his brother because he's like, he doesn't want to accept the reality that Ace died right in front of his eyes. Yeah, I'm a little surprised you're listening so much. I get it, like, you know, you gotta respect your elders, and she was an empress. I can just imagine, like, the more and more Luffy will do in the future, the more someone like a Kainu will be like, I had him dead to rights. Like, these, like, they're so different from Law's personality. Law seems so serious in comparison to the rest of these guys. Okay, he, like, really went crazy. Hopefully he doesn't eat those mushrooms again. That's a lot of blood. Has he come to grips with what actually happened? Not yet. Somebody just needs to, like, tell him. It wasn't a dream. Like, hey, you gotta accept this. Maybe I shouldn't say this as well. But, like, you would think if you can jump in front of somebody's punch, you could also hit them. You gotta settle down. Who's gonna, like... Jinbei. Okay, Jinbei's the best person here for it. Because he listens to Jinbei and respects him. And Jinbei obviously is, like, older and wiser. He's kinda pissed. Now he's going through anger. Yeah, this is where he said, like, I only look after people I respect. Okay, so he knows. He knows it was real. Okay. I hate this, because Luffy, like, did everything he could. And he's gonna kind of like blame himself, because he's gonna be like, you know, like, Ace died saving me. Oh, they're showing us more? But this is good, though. Because at least he stopped, like, hurting himself. And he's kind of, like, accepted. Okay. That was a more somber episode. I mean, you know, it started out, like, a little bit, you know, funnier with, like, Boa Hancock and Amazon Lily. But, yeah. Just, like, Luffy went through so much. And I know he's gonna blame himself. That's the thing. It feels like no matter how much he's been struggling and how much, like, how far he's come along. Like, he's really just gone through so many, like, humbling moments recently. Like, that's one thing you can definitely say about Luffy. He's not overpowered or anything like that. Like, if he wins fights, it's, like, it is hard fought like crazy, and there's plenty of fights that he loses. I mean, he lost to Crocodile a few times. He lost to Lucci that one time. He lost, like, he loses so many times. He lost to Magellan, you know. And then, even when you think of, like, Kizaru, I guess he technically lost to him. Kind of. He lost to Aokiji. And it's like, he just keeps getting humbled over and over again. But obviously, like, losing his entire crew, which, you know, he will reunite with them. I'm sure even in the back of his mind, he's got to be thinking, like, okay, that's the next step. I got to reunite with my crew. Like, see his family, his friends and his family again. Either way, though, like, he lost. He wasn't strong enough to protect his crew. He couldn't, you know, he was, like, on the ground, and Ace had to, like, jump in front of a kindness punch. Either way, though, like, Luffy did all he could, and I know he's going to blame himself, and I know he probably does, but, like, that wasn't on you, Luffy. I see that as, like, Ace was just reckless one time too many, and in the end, like, he tried to do what he could to remedy it, but, you know. Anyway, Luffy has just gone through so much. I really do appreciate, though, getting, like, the mix of all these other moments, like the somber moments, and, you know, like, just the more thought-provoking moments and things like that. But obviously, like, it just feels like so much went wrong at the end of Marineford. Like, it looked like, okay, this is going to work out, like, great. And then so much went downhill so fast. You know, it's a good story because I like the fact that the heroes don't always win. They didn't win this one. Because, you know, if they got off scot-free every single time, I like the fact that there are consequences. I do. Now, obviously, like, it can be saddening when you experience those consequences, but even with, like, Ace dying, I see that as overall, like, yeah, it wasn't like a happy moment, but I see that as a positive for the story because it's like, okay, there are sacrifices. It's not all sunshine and daisies. Like, yeah, people die. Yeah, I do want Luffy to reunite with the crew, but he's here in Amazon Lily. I do love all the dynamics between, like, Luffy and Boa Hancock and stuff like that, but he's got Jinbei here. Jinbei is, like, I don't know, he's just such a surprising character. Because I would have never expected that some fisherman that he ran into in Impel Down. It's the Warlord of the Sea, which, like, even when I think back to when he was mentioned in Arlong Park, like, they kind of associated, didn't they say he was, like, worse than Arlong? I don't know if I remember that correctly. I guess I thought, like, oh, like, Arlong is really bad. Jinbei, like, this guy is even worse. But no, I don't know, maybe it's just reputation. Like, even the reputation they have about, like, Luffy and some of these people, just, it doesn't match reality. Maybe Oda also changed his mind about, like, what Jinbei was gonna be. Anyway,